so I'm back with another Wednesday Rants with Dalisa. You already know, and I got my whiteboard, in case I accidentally slip up and cuss and stuff like that. But if you're new here, so Wednesday Rants with Dalisa is, me talking about different topics. I'm not staying on one subject, okay? I'm ranting. That's what the whole point of Wednesday Rants with Dalisa is. It's raining today or whatever. So I kind of look a hot mess because it's raining. Well, not because it's raining, but because, it's like a cozy type of day. So I can look a mess. I need to take my hair out, if anything. I'm getting tired of it. But anyways, so hopefully this video won't be too long this time. I kind of a little bit adjusted what I was going to say, because sometimes they're a little long, but I do appreciate the love and the support for the people that do watch it and watch them all the way through. Thank you. It's much appreciated because, when I'm watching TikToks and stuff like that or YouTube videos, I watch the whole thing because it's interesting to me. So people sometimes need to get with the program. But anyways, let's get into it. But first things first that I want to talk about is being a good person. Okay. So, how I've heard a lot of people say this, but it's like, oh, you don't have to let it, like, if you're a good person, you don't have to say that you're a good person. I don't know if you guys have heard that. Some other people have heard that, but I've heard that too. And it's like, personally to me, why can't you say that you're a good person? I think you should let it be known that you're a good person. You are allowed to let it be known that you are a good person. Explain that, express that, rant about that, say that, because sometimes it does need to be known. So this whole like narrative of, oh, you don't have to let it be known that you're a good person. Your actions and this and that and how you are shows that you're a good person. Yes, your actions as well, but you as well expressing that too. Like, it will all come together. People know what you mean. You are allowed to say that. And I'm realizing that too. But I just had to say that because I've heard that a bunch of times. Like, oh, you don't have to let it be known that you're a good person. Like, you can let it be known. You could express that. And also your actions are going to show that too, if that makes sense. Because, I don't know, just sometimes when people, like, that's another thing. When you do something for people or when you, help people or do what you can, like, all pertaining to that subject or that area of what I'm talking about. But you don't, I don't know, say what you did, like, if that makes sense. Like, if you are genuinely going to help someone, you do it. You don't sit up there and bring it up and blow it up back in their face. Like, well, I did this and that. Like, okay, if you were doing that out of the kindness of your heart, let it be that. You did it. And if someone turns around and turns it back on you or treats you badly or is not appreciative of it, it is what it is. It's not it is what it is because it's like, okay, yes, you also have to explain that to them. But to a certain extent, it's kind of like, let them realize that on their own. Like, oh, they helped me out or they really had my back or they were, really there for me or they do this and that. And now I don't have that in my life or I don't have that around me. So sometimes with that too, you can let it be known, but sometimes with that, you don't have to let it be known because eventually they're going to realize like, oh, like things are changing. It's different now. I don't have, the same things that I did, or I don't have that same person with me that did anything and everything for me. You get what I'm saying? So it's just sometimes like if you're going to do things out of the kindness of your heart, let it genuinely come from the kindness of your heart. Don't sit up there and try to flip it being like, oh, why this is not for you, because sometimes to me low-key it just seems like you were doing that for what, to let it be known that you're helping them or that you did something for them versus it being out of the kindness of your heart. But sometimes, don't get me wrong, you do need to let it be known, but when it comes to, oh, I'm a good person, this and that, you definitely can let that be known, because I don't know where that came from, but I've heard that, and I'm pretty sure other people have heard that. I don't know about you guys, but like, yeah, I don't know where you got that from. But anyways, on to the next. I'm trying to make sure I stay on topic. So, I feel like cussing right now. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let me stop. Okay, because I have everything together, everything that I was going to say. Okay, do you guys know about the Sinners movie? Pretty sure you guys do. I actually really liked it, but one thing I will say is that I wish it was longer. Like, I wanted that to be like a 3-4 hour movie. I really would have watched it if it was 3 or 4 hours. Because, like, I wanted to know more about everyone's backstory and their history. Like, with the twins and with Annie and I forgot the other girl's name. But just, I wanted to know more about each and every person's background. And I paid attention in the movie unless I didn't catch on to something. But I just wanted to know a lot more, if that makes sense. I felt like the movie went by so fast, but it was really good. And now that I've seen everything on TikTok with like people's background and their history and where they came from and their family history, it's made me really curious to do the same. I want to look into my family background and my history and know deep more of like where I came from, where my family's from, what we're connected to. You know, maybe, I don't know if we have some land or riches out there. I don't know. But because I've also heard people say too, like, don't dig up into like your ancestry and stuff like that. You're open like portals and doors and stuff like that. Honestly, don't believe any of that. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna do that because I'm not doing it with no bad intentions and none of that. I just want to know more of my history and my background, and I think everyone should do that too. Don't do it with no bad intentions like that. But I don't know, like, I've heard so many people say like, oh, don't do that, you're gonna open, like, what? No, it's not. You're just knowing where you're from and like what connections you have. I think that's really important for everyone to do because in a way, I know this is crazy, but I feel like everyone could be somehow in some way connected to each other. And I'm religious too. So also that's another way I think that we're all connected somehow because we know God is the one who made us and created us. So obviously we're going to be connected in some way of that too. But I feel like there's other ways that we're connected as well. So that's why I'm like, I think it's really important to do background, DNA, all of that. And another thing too, it's not just that, but just a little piece of advice. When you're looking into that or when you're doing that, look into your health as well. I overthink about my health so badly. I do all the time. And, you know, I'm on my workout journey. I'm doing what I can to get this BBL body, natural BBL body. But anyways, but I overthink about my health. So I also want to look into like my family's history of health and know like, I don't know what diseases they've had or like if we carry any like traits of diseases or anything, so I can, I don't know, try to prevent it before. I would literally go on some foreign island and, you know, ask someone to help me, you know, what supplements or, you know, what ways to heal so I don't get it. Like, I'm so serious. I don't play about my health. But look into that as well. Your health is everything. Health is wealth. I'm always going to say that because it is. Your health determines everything and it determines your life and what you can and can't do. So make sure you look into that. So yes, look into your history and stuff, but also look into your health. So that's like my big major thing too. Like when I do that, I probably will make a video of it to let you guys know like where my roots are connected and where they're from. I don't know when I'm going to do that because I'm kind of scared like what to see or what to find out. But like also, I don't know, excited. I'm going to do it soon though because I feel like that movie really persuaded me to do that. But definitely the health part, I'm definitely going to look into that because if you know me, sometimes I'm a little bit of a, I don't know how to explain it. I'm always like, oh, I think I need to go to the hospital because, like, if something randomly appears on my body, I'm like, oh, I got to go to the hospital because I don't know what this is. Like, I overthink. Or, like, if I'm feeling funny, oh, I need to go to the hospital. You know, I'm just like that, okay? I know I need to stop, but I'm just like that. But, you know, actually, speaking of that, because when I told you guys I passed out, I should have went to the hospital then, but I wasn't about to be racked up with no medical bills out of state. I'm not doing that, okay? I'm in between blessings, and when the Lord blesses me, if something like that does happen again, and I have more money, okay, yeah, rack up that hospital bill. But anyways, on to the next thing. Okay, I don't know if you guys saw, I'm not going to go too much into detail, because it's a lot, and it's a little bit of, like, graphic, and I'm just going to say it allegedly, because you sometimes some things on the internet are true and some things aren't. It depends. But I guess, I don't know if they were in college or if they just graduated from college or graduated from high school. I don't know. These people took a trip and something happened to them in the ocean, and people were saying that they weren't listening and following the rules and the guidelines of what they're supposed to be doing on the beach, and they ended up passing away, one of them, or something like that. And then on the shade room, I really low-key kind of don't like the shade room. I do, but then I don't, because sometimes they can be messy. But because I'm not trying to be messy, because I like her. She's interesting in her own way. I'm just gonna put it like that. But I guess Sexy Red went to Dubai, and I know that they have certain things that you're supposed to respect and follow, but I guess she was posing a certain way, and everyone in the comments was chewing her up, saying you don't do that. And honestly, for me personally, I think, and it's no disrespect, no offense, no none of that, but if you don't know how to follow rules, you're not doing your research about all of these different places you want to travel to, don't go. Just don't go. Because the US, honestly, I'm going to admit, we're tacky. America, all that. We're tacky, just trifling at times. We really are. So, and it's just like, I don't know. We have a lot of free will where we just take advantage of it and do anything and everything. So, in different places, you cannot do that. You have to be respectful, all of that. And personally, to me, I'm not ready to go to different countries or anything, because I just want to be prepared and making sure that I'm being respectful, that I'm paying attention to my surroundings, that I have a good time out there, but I'm also being safe and that nothing happens to me. Like, I don't think people really kind of don't take heed of that. And, like, don't get me wrong, like, I do want to travel, but it's just, like, so much happens in the world. And then on top of that, not even just that, it's just, like, having respect, if that makes sense. So it's just, like, for people to do that, and you're not following rules, and you're not doing your research and taking the time to see how they do things out there, what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do, what to be aware of, what to pay attention to, what to do, it's kind of dumb of you, if that makes sense. Like, because everyone all the time is like, oh my gosh, Lizzie, you're so scary. You don't want to, like, you need to live life. You need to, I do want to live life, but it's also like, I'm going to be smart at the same time too. I'm not going to be dumb and go do something and then something happen to me. Like, I understand that. Don't get me wrong. And I'm all for it. But it's just like, at the same time, it's so important to do that. And sometimes you don't need to go everywhere and anywhere just because everyone else is doing it. Like, I don't know what people don't get about that or don't understand, because everyone is saying that too. Like, oh, live your life. You can. Just be cautious about it and be, like, mindful and respectful towards yourself and others, if that makes sense. So when it comes to, like, going out of country and stuff like that, and I will eventually when I am ready, but I'm going to make sure to take the time to do a lot of research, and I'm really going to be aware of stuff and take the time to do, like, a deep dive into research and pick and choose where I want to go. Because it's just like, sometimes some of these popular places that people want to go, they're not being respectful or taking the time to do their research, if that makes sense. Because, like, I don't know, like, some people, you don't need to be traveling, or some places you just don't need to go. And I'm not trying to be offensive, no, none of that. But it's just like, if you're not going to be thinking about those things, then maybe it's best for you to, I don't know, travel only in states. I'm just saying. And then another thing, because people are always telling me too, like, oh, you know, some stuff that people post on social media isn't true, or they over exaggerate. I'm sorry, but no, sometimes that is, people are not over exaggerating. They're not lying. Like, sometimes to me, like, when it comes to that stuff, what does someone have to lie for about that stuff? Because I'm just like, see, you're being the dumb idiot that wants to go anywhere and everywhere. And I know you saw that, but you still want to go. Like, no. So I'm just saying, like, you know, when it comes to traveling and stuff like that, just be mindful of that. Kind of be aware of that. Pay attention to that stuff. I don't know why people just get off thinking they could do anything and everything sometimes. Like, yes, you can. But it's just like, there's a certain way to go about it, if that makes sense. But I just had to throw that out there because I felt bad with that story. You guys can look into it, because I don't know what's true and what's not true with that. So some things, yeah, I do, like, you do have to also be cautious with what's true and what's not true. But with that was real. And I'm pretty sure people were putting extras with it, but it's still like, see, that's my last straw. That's this type of stuff that I'm talking about. I want to be cautious and know what I can and can't do. And then on top of that, I'm not good with no animals. I'm just not. Besides dogs and, like, bunnies and stuff like that. But the wild exotic animals, that's also why I don't want to travel out of country. Because, and one thing, what's so funny is, I've always said this too, and I'm sticking to my word until, I don't know, unless if it's like a life or death situation and I have to go down there, then I will. But, you know, I'm going to leave it up to God that hopefully that doesn't happen. But Florida, you will not catch me in Florida, because I just have a feeling that when I go, I'm going to see an alligator or something, or a crocodile, whichever. And they got lizards out there badly too. You will not catch me out there. I don't deal with that stuff. I don't like that stuff. No. Anyways. Okay. On to the next. I wanted to talk about brands and stores. One thing about me, too, just like I told you guys about racism and stuff like that, I don't play that. I don't play when it comes to brands, too, not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So any little thing that a brand does, a company, and they're doing, something wrong and not, presenting their brand or company right, I'm not supporting. Like Target, for example. I loved Target. I really did. Every day, I would always go to Target. Or every day, I'd always be telling Destiny Kill, like, oh, girl, before we go somewhere, let me go to Target. Let's go to Target. Now, you won't catch me there. I'm sorry. It's just, I'm not supporting it. I mean, you do you, I guess, if you want to support that. But I don't play that. As soon as I heard all that mess with that stuff, no. I go to Walmart. I mean, I went to Walmart even when I went to Target, but I went to Target more. But I'm definitely going to go to Walmart more. I don't go to Target at all. And even if it's something that I really need, I'll find it online. It's really not that important. Or if I don't find it online, then I guess I didn't need it. I guess it wasn't that serious, was it? Because I'm not doing that. Same thing with Lulu, too. Oh, don't get me started with that. I used to be obsessed with Lulu. I was so obsessed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need Lulu leggings. Like, I love Lulu. It's so comfortable, this and that. But this was before all this, shenanigans stuff about Lulu coming out. But mine's ripped. So, and you know what's so funny? Like, this is really funny. And then later on down the line, I guess that's when all that stuff started, like, happening, coming out about Lulu. So, that's one thing why I'm not supporting them. You won't catch me with that. Because I don't know what's true or what's not true. But until, I don't know, maybe they can finally confirm that none of that stuff was true, then okay. But I'm not hearing or seeing nothing that is, like, really fully confirmed. And for the black girls out there supporting it, you do you, but you look a little delusional. Like, that's this type of stuff that I'm talking about sometimes, that black people make us look bad. But no offense, I'm not going to get into that. But, and you know what the crazy part is, too? Because this was, like, I had to be a one-on-one for one of the students, like, at my job, at one of the schools I was at. And they literally ripped my leggings. They ripped my leggings, like, they had mega powerful strength. And they ripped my leggings. So it's like all that stuff was happening with the brand or coming out about the brand. And then I was like, you know what? Their brand isn't that good anyways. Because how is it that I paid $100 for some leggings and they ripped? They're supposed to be good material, not rip at all. And they did. So they're not getting none of my money anymore. I don't care. But that's just how I am. And any other brand that does that too, yeah, no. Any other brands, companies, like I said, I don't play that. And you guys should do the same. And if you guys are like that too about brands and stuff like that, let me know what else, other brands that I need to stop supporting or companies. Because I don't play that and I don't like that. But I just had to throw that out there now. And I know it's so crazy. You know what? I still have those leggings too. Maybe next time, next video, whatever, I'll show you guys. Because they literally ripped. And I'm like, and I was so mad too. Because I was like, I paid $100. And like all the other stuff that they have is very expensive. We know that. But I'm just like, yeah, no. They're not getting another dime from me. I don't care. No. Until, I don't know, I hear something better. But same thing with Target. I'm trying to think of what other brands that I don't support. But as of right now, it's just that. Yeah. But anyways, just had to throw that out there. Okay. On to the next. I don't mean no offense and anyone that works with me, but most likely they're not going to see this because when I work with people, you cannot have my socials, none of that, depending on who you are. But other than that, most likely, most of the time, no, you cannot. You can't have it. I don't care. We leave work at work. And when I come home and my social life outside of work and all that, no. I know you at work, not outside of my life. Stay out of my business, respectfully. Anyways, but I don't know why everyone does this. And I'm not trying to be mean, no, none of that. But having like work friends or like being close with people at work or talking to them. Personally, to me, I don't particularly care to do that. I don't, because I just don't trust anyone at work. Work is like, it's just so risky to the point where like you never know if they're going to turn their back on you and possibly get you fired. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, to me, it's like it's best to keep work at work, and then outside of work, we're going to leave it at that. Because I'm not trying to come back in the next day and something that I told you or said that happened, you go use it against me or go tell the boss, and now I don't have a job. Like, you see what I'm saying? This stuff like that. And it's like, honestly, too, like, I see a lot of people and I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, you're being all buddy-buddy with these people that you work with. But at the end of the day, little do you know, you never know, anything could happen, and they could be petty, or because you got, like, a higher position than them now. Or you're getting more, like, what is the word? I forgot the word, but you're getting recognized for stuff that you're doing, you know, or this and that. So it's just like, no, it's such a huge risk. I don't know. And I feel like our generation does it way too much, but like, I don't know why you guys do that, but it just kind of makes me think like, dang, you guys are really risking a lot. I mean, it's not, it kind of is low-key nowadays, difficult to get a job. So I'm not going to say it's not like it's hard to get it. It's not, but then it is. It is. Like, it is 100%, but then you can take the time to find something else if, you know, something does happen. But it's like, personally, me, I'm not risking it. I'm just not. So it's like, and it's so funny too, because people that I work with, like, oh, I'm like, no, I don't have social media. No. Like, with certain people, I'm like, no. Or, and I literally stay to myself. Like, I do my own thing. I take my breaks and stuff in my own corner, my own area, all of that. Hi, bye, good morning, how are you, this and that. Leave it real simple, this and that. People ask me about school. That's it. Nothing else. Don't bring, nope. You're not going to know any of my business. You're not doing none of that. I'm not telling you how I feel if someone made me mad, because you're not about to use it against me or go snitch on me. No, none of that. So you guys need to learn that. Learn boundaries. Learn boundaries when it comes to work, because at the end of the day, I need to do what I need to do for myself and, you know, for whoever else on the job. But that, I'm not risking that. I don't play about that. So I'm just saying, like, sometimes have a little bit of common sense to have boundaries with that, because that's a huge risk. I'm not about to lose my job because I sat up there and thought I could trust someone or make a friend at work. No, I don't know. Like, is that mean? I'm not trying to be mean or anything. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not like a mean person at work. I'm very friendly and I'm very nice. But I also know how to find a balance. That's why I'm like, this generation, when it comes to work, I feel like you guys don't know boundaries or a balance with that. Like, you want to be all up in people's face, and then tell them your business, or tell them, you know, what someone did and you didn't like it. Now they sat up there and told them. Now, you know, like, work drama. I don't mess with that. I don't mess with drama in general, and the work drama, absolutely not. I'm here to do what I need to do for the job and for myself and to support myself. I'm not about to be in drama on top of that, and like, you're not paying me. No, we're not, especially if it's like another employee or whatever. Like, you're not the one that's paying me. It's the company or the boss or whatever. Like, we're not doing that. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, find a balance with that. And I'm not trying to say it like in a messy, mean way. No offense. Not trying to be mean if that came off mean, but it's just find boundaries with that, you know? So just had to throw that out there. But another thing I wanted to talk about that I just saw, and I'm happy for her. So I'm pretty sure all of you guys know who DDG is, okay? Everyone does. Well, some people. I don't know. Not to be offensive or anything. You know, because whatever happens with YouTube, I don't want to blow up and people being like, oh, you know, so I'm not trying to be messy, but, I guess there was this girl on one of his streams, and she was being very, like, not necessarily, like, clingy, but I just kind of feel like she was, like, you know, the life of the party, having fun, living it up, but it was, like, at the same time, like, it seemed, like, a little kind of, like, embarrassing, because it just seems like some people are like, you know, but I will say I do like how he was like respectful. He wasn't mean to her or telling her like, you know, or like pushing her or cussing her out for how she was acting. She was, like I said, having like fun, being life of the party and stuff like that. But everyone in the comments was, again, chewing her up, talking about, oh, like, you know, some people don't know, like, don't have awareness of stuff, like self-awareness, like some people can't read the room. And honestly and truthfully, yes, like, I don't know what's wrong with their generation, but you guys need to understand that some people were raised in different environments and they were taught different things. So some things just doesn't come naturally to them like that, or they don't know. They generally don't know. And I get like, oh, when you're an adult, you know right from wrong, or you should be able to understand things a little bit better. Yes, but at the end of the day, what I'm seeing now and learning is that life is an experience. You're going to learn something new every day. So you're going to learn every day. There's not a moment where you're not going to learn something. So some people, even as they grow and they're adults, they're going to have to learn something new. They're going to have to learn that over time. It doesn't matter if they weren't taught it at a young age or this and that. You're going to learn it. Maybe you have to learn that. I don't know. But I just feel like maybe she, you know, wasn't taught that. So she doesn't know that. And she just really likes, you know, having fun, and she's confident. So it's just like for everyone to be mean and making fun of her. And then people were talking about her outfit. Like, that's the stuff that I mean. Like, this generation is very much mean girls. Like, I don't like our generation. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that, but I don't like my generation. But it's just like, that's so mean. Like, you see the stuff that I'm talking about? And then I'm thinking to myself, like, you guys sitting up here hating in the comments, but mind you, you guys are behind the screens. You're not there. So at least she's there and she's confident living it up. Where are you hating in the comments? You're not there. So I don't like that. So it's just like everyone needs to stop some certain things. Like I said, people were not taught. They didn't learn that. They don't know, or maybe they haven't learned it yet and they have to learn it eventually. And then on top of that too, it's just like, I don't know if her friends or whatever were behind her or were there, but it's like, as your friend, you could have sat up there and said something. You get what I'm saying? You could have said like, hey, maybe, you know, let's like tone it down a notch. You know, it kind of looks like you're a little doing too much, or I don't want you to embarrass yourself. Instead of, you know, allowing her to embarrass herself, if that makes sense. And like I said, I personally, like how I'm looking at it, she was having fun living it up. But I could tell, like, some moments it did, like, you know, secondhand embarrassment. But at the same time, I'm like, she's confident, she's having fun, and all of you guys are just being haters. And look at where you are. You're not there on the screen, you know, being known or possibly being known and could make money off of it now from being on that stream. And since everyone wanted to be haters. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, this generation really needs to stop being mean girls. And you guys need to learn, like, not everyone was taught certain things, or they don't know. And it takes time to learn it. Or when you're trying to teach someone something or tell them something, don't be so mean about it. Like, I don't know why everyone does that, but it's like, oh, like, it's just common sense. And like I said, too, like, what may be common sense for you could not be common sense for someone else, or they weren't taught that. And maybe you could be a nice person and teach them that and do it gently. Sometimes it's okay to do things gently, not harsh or straightforward. It can be straightforward and truthful, but sometimes try it in a gentle way. And if that doesn't work, okay, add a little firmness, but still do it in a gentle way. The third time is still okay. Now you could be fully firm. But, you know, there's steps to things. You don't always have to take the mean and harsh way. I don't know why people do that, but no. And for me, I take the gentle way. I may do a little more, a couple of times, more than once, more than I should. And then later on, when you really take me there, then it will be the hard way, the firm way. Okay? But I'm not a mean person, but I just had to throw that out there. Another thing, last thing that I wanted to talk about is mental health and kind of just what I was saying right now about being nice. And I honestly think I'm going to start saying this more all the time in every video. Be nice to everyone and be kind and loving, because you don't know what someone else is going through and what they have to deal with and what someone else's story is. And I get it. We all go through things. Everyone goes through things. Everyone's going through a different battle that they're battling, a different phase that they're in, a different journey that they're on, a different path, all of that. I get it. We all are. That's how life is, and that's what, you know, God wants us to be doing and what he wants for us in different moments and different times. But be kind, because I just feel like everyone is just so mean, and a lot of people suffer from mental health, and depression is like one of the most biggest top things. And it's really sad too, because now kids are starting to get very depressed. Like, there's no, how do I say it? It's like there's no even number, or like just like numbers that are getting lower. They're just getting higher when it comes to depression and mental health for kids and adults, which is really sad. So that's why I'm saying it's so important. And I saw something about mental health like a couple of days ago, and I was like, I'm just feeling like everyone is struggling with mental health a lot in so many different ways, but also at the same time, we all go through something. So just be more kind and loving in any way that you can. It doesn't matter how you're doing it, but please just be loving and kind, even towards yourself too. That's very important, but to others too. And in a way, I don't know if this sounds weird, but sometimes when I'm going through things, or when I'm dealing with mental health, I like helping people. I love helping people. So sometimes, I don't know, that's like refreshing, or helps me in a way mentally, and it helps me getting on track, or start to heal, or to grow, or to get through what I'm dealing with, if that makes sense, and getting through what I'm going through mentally. So sometimes too, find a way that you can help someone. Even if you are going through something and battling with something mentally, it's a start to help you feel better. I don't know what it is, but it's just like there's like some type of connection, or I don't know how to explain it, but just helping someone when you're going through something, it's just like a enjoyment, or like it's like a relief, or like a weight off of your shoulder when you're going through something, but you're also in a way being able to help someone too. So keep that in mind. Just throwing that out there, because like I said, everyone goes through something in different shapes or forms. So please keep that in mind. Be loving and kind. I don't like mean people. I don't like meanness. I don't like none of that. And don't come over here with none of that. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. Anyways, that is it for today's Wednesday Rants with Dalisa. I feel like I talked in a decent amount of time, because I kind of like, broke things down a little bit, wrote it down. Maybe I should do this more, because that other video was very long, but I still appreciate all the love and the support for the people that stayed and watched it. We're finally in May, so soon you guys will see I have so much exciting stuff coming up to show you guys. I can't wait to show you guys when that time comes. So stay tuned for more videos. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, please. And again, I'm always going to say I always appreciate all the love and the support that I do get from everyone. And like I'm going to continue to say always, if you need any type of support, need me to promote anything, I will do it for you. I'm not expecting anything in return or none of that, but I love supporting people, and especially small businesses, trying to make it up, because we're all trying to make it up to the top. But yes, so keep that in mind. But anyways, you guys already know what to do as well. Make sure you subscribe and share to other people so they can tune in too to Wednesday Rants with Dalisa. But anyways, thank you for watching. See you guys next time.